The slope is the rise over run. It's the vertical change over the horizontal change. Positive slope rises from left to right, looks like this. Negative slope falls from left to right, like this. A line with a slope of 0 is horizontal. It does not rise over the horizontal change. And an undefined slope is vertical. The formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The change in the y's over the change in the x's. The order that you pick for x1, y1, x2, y2 does not matter as long as you do the same order every time. So I'm going to start with number 3 because it's the only one that doesn't have the same numbers repeated anywhere. So on the top, I'm going to subtract the y's, and I'm going to go this way. 1 minus a negative 2. The slope formula involves subtraction. So even if your point is negative, you still have to do the subtraction. So make sure you're always subtracting, even if you're subtracting a negative number. On the bottom, we are going to subtract the x's. 6 minus a negative 3. Do you see how I went the same direction both times? If I started with the second point, I went to the first point. Make sure you do that the second time. This gives me 1 plus 2, which is 3, over 6 plus 3, which is 9. And what does that fraction simplify to? 1/3. So this one has a slope of 1/3. Does that line rise, fall? Is it horizontal or is it vertical? Rises. It's positive slope, so it rises. Okay, so now let's go back over to this first one. 3 minus 3. On the bottom, we subtract the x's. 4 minus 0. Zero divided by 4. 0 divided by 4 is 0. If I have 0 candy bars and I split them up among 4 of you, how many candy bars do the 4 of you get? 0. That it is possible to do that. So this is a 0 slope, and that means it is a horizontal line. Okay, I'm going to switch over to number 4. I know I'm kind of bouncing around today, but that's okay. We can bounce. Number 4, 7 minus 3 over 7 minus 7. We get 4 divided by 0. What is 4 divided by 0? You can't do it. It's undefined. Using the candy bar example, I have 4 candy bars in my hand. I am going to split these 4 candy bars up among 0 people. How do you split 4 into 0? You'd have to eat the candy bars, and that's not something that you can do in math problems because you just can't. So dividing by 0 is bad. Dividing by 0 is like the #1 rule in math. You cannot divide by 0. So that slope is undefined, and that makes it a vertical line. So 0 on the top is good. That's 0 slope. That's horizontal. 0 on the bottom is bad. That's undefined, vertical line. On your own, please find the slope of number 2 and then describe it. You're probably going to be able just to guess which one it is just from process of elimination. You should get a slope of -5 over 6. That is negative, so that line falls. A skateboard ramp has a rise of 15 inches and a run of 54 inches. So I guess ramps look like this. This is not drawn to scale, by the way. has a rise of 15 inches. That means that at its highest point, it is 15 inches tall. It has a run of 54 inches. What is its slope? It seriously tells you rise over run. So 15 over 54. Grab your calculator, see if you can simplify that fraction. I don't know that you can. Oh, hey, you can. That ends up being 5/18. Slope also tells you about the steepness of a line. The line with the slope of greater absolute value is steeper. So ignoring the negatives, the bigger number is steeper. That means if I've got a slope of 2 versus a slope of 5, which one is steeper? 5. If I've got a slope of 2 versus a slope of -10. -10 is steeper. It's the greatest absolute value. So think about both of them. Like if you were riding a bike and you were going up something with a slope of 2, no big deal, right? If you're riding a bike and you're going down a hill that has a slope of -10, you'd be flying because that's like a steep hill. So think about, ignore the negative. The bigger number, regardless of the negative, is going to be the steeper line. Okay, so in number 6, we need to decide which line is steeper. And the way to do that is to find the slope of line 1, find the slope of line 2, and then compare them. So on your own, find the slope of line 1, find the slope of line 2, and then we will compare them. Line 1, I got a slope of 2. Line 2, I got a slope of 3/5. Which one is steeper? Which number is bigger? 2 is bigger, so line 1 is steeper. Okay, and I believe that is it for today's notes. Your assignment is a worksheet. It's a PDF on Schoology, so go to Schoology, find that PDF, do your work on paper, and then submit a picture of your assignment.